Hey guys, Tbull here. Today we got to look at the Kamakaze. That's right, the terror of Tier 4. I got Space Fishy in the pilot seat. If you don't have him, I'd go with Tanaka. Similar build. You got just slightly faster torps with this guy. At the end of this, as the game's winding down, I'll explain to you where to get the Kamakaze among other ships that are available kind of basically on a continuous basis, but they're not found in the game. Okay, so I'll explain to you where you can locate these ships, and they're usually at a pretty good price, especially compared to pretty much anything else you can spend on money in the game. So stay tuned for that. But I do want to talk about deployment as a destroyer here. Now we got twist and track. You can see the little half moon thing. We'll explain that in a moment. But we got a pair of enemy Kamakazes, and it's vital to understand where they are as we're deploying our ships. So we see two red battleships north of B. That means those Kamakazes are almost certainly not on B, right? Because they will usually be paired together as a division. And we're keeping an eye on the caps. Which caps are being flipped and which aren't. Now, so far, none of them are being occupied by the enemy destroyers, which is a little bit surprising. But now we got a cruiser moving into sea there, and I'm thinking, okay, well, usually the destroyers, assuming they actually pick up the controller when the game starts, they're going to beat the cruisers into the cap. So now I'm thinking pretty likely that the destroyers over here, we begin to turn around, get in a position where we can disengage, and we're checking the map, making sure we aren't pointing at that island. But on their screen, it says located. Now on our screen, it doesn't say located. What's the difference? Well, I have twist and track or the corresponding, the newer perk. Both of these perks, slot 3, destroyer commanders, all of them have at least one of them. They say show the approximate location of the nearest enemy ship. And that's what that little half moon is, the radio locator. And check this out, we're going to be torping into the smoke, and then we're going to be getting the heck out of here, because we can assume there's not only 6 torpedoes coming our way, but actually 12, because these Kamakazes should be coming into the cap at the same time, paired up together. So I would recommend everyone who plays Destroyer always have the radio locator. It will help you quite a bit. Information is key, and this is huge information that those two Kamakazes aren't getting that we do have. Boom! There's a Higaon moment right off the bat there. We do get one of them sitting in the smoke. Not sure which one it was, whether it was the ship we initially saw or his buddy. Nevertheless, we're disengaging, making sure we're not going to be taking these torps. And then we're going to put one more salvo in there. There was the cruiser behind the destroyer, and then likely, once again, another Kamakaze in there. So muddy the waters. Make it hazardous for these guys to be in these areas. These are what the torpedoes are supposed to be doing. You don't always have to precision aim the torps. In fact, a lot of times, if you watch me play Destroyer, I'll aim them in general areas as opposed to where the game suggests that the ship is heading. Because, number one, ships change speed and course all the time. And number two, that's just a more effective use. Okay, my hit rate on torpedoes is about 8%. And that's about as reliable as you would really want them to be. So don't spend too much time aiming these torps unless you're pretty sure you're going to have a target that's not going to be moving. So we're coming around here, and you can see the torpedoes already reloaded again. That's one of the strengths of the Kamakaze. Number one, insane concealment. Number two, quick reloading torps that have good speed and hit hard. Okay, Phoenix coming around here now. If he's ready for us, we'd be in serious trouble here. I should actually probably pop the speed boost to gain an edge here, but we want to get enough of a gap, or move to the right rather, enough so that we can actually launch those torps in front of him, because he's likely to turn out there. You can see the back, or the first launch actually misses, but the other two accounted for as likely maneuvers. And we'll go ahead and whack him pretty hard for another Higaon! And Kamakaze just kind of parked there trying to capture the base or whatever. They did capture the base, but for some reason he's just waiting for his torps to reload or whatever, and we're shooting the guns. Now he begins to fire back, and I think his battleship to the north shot, and check this out, another destroyer, the guy who captured B, is going to be chiming in across the map. Nothing I can do about that. We got to deal with this close quarter Kamakaze, and then we can try and deal with the enemy destroyer as time permits. But because the guy to the north, the other destroyer, whatever the British Tier 4 is, he's got a longer range shot, so if we kind of move back and forth here like this, we're going to dodge a lot of his shots, negating a large part of that 2v1 that we're finding ourselves in. Yeah, we do have a cruiser to the south who could probably shoot, but he doesn't currently seem like he's doing much in terms of shooting. Enemy Kamakaze does dodge those torps. We just kind of put them down as insurance. And again, they reload so quickly. What's the use of not using them? Just constantly get them in the water. He dodges, though. We're trying to whittle him down with the gun. We are taking a fair amount of damage here. Was waiting to heal that engine until we thought we could kill this thing pretty rapidly, and that down he goes there. But we don't want to use that damage control, fix the engine, and then get it knocked out again. Okay, so because we knew we were going to be taking sustained fire, 2 or 3 more incoming salvos there, held on to the damage control until we were reasonably certain the engagement was about to end, and then we used it. Now, initially, I'm planning on going straight for the enemy destroyer, but I'm like, okay, come on over here. We're right by this cap. We're down 2 caps to 1. Yes, we're up huge in ships, but it's still our responsibility to get this cap, and it's kind of sloppy play not to. So we're going to move into this Koenig now. He's currently moving away from us. We're not going to sail after him once this cap is captured. Okay, the objective is captured. We'll go ahead and turn around and re-engage that destroyer, which is a far more valuable piece, just in general and specifically in this instance as well. But I did want to get the cap over here. Number 1, more XP, more gold, or silver, whatever they give you for wins. Everything good, and it's just good sound play. As a destroyer, you're there to capture the caps. If you don't do it, you're kind of not doing your job. So just another good example and a good reminder to be doing that. Koenig moving in, though. We did see him turning in, and you'll see where we torp. We weren't aiming on that indicator because we were expecting him to make a beeline towards the cap, right? We can get into his head and say, okay, I got to stop that base from getting captured. I'm going to go right into the base, and that's kind of where we aim those torps, accounting for the fact that it'd be coming right at us. And now we're trying to get a side shot here. Once again, could use the speed boost, trying to get a better angle on this guy. But the torps quickly reload once again, and they're right back in the water. We do get spotted there by the enemy destroyer, or now we get spotted, but we did spot him earlier. Once again, though, we just got to get this done, and then we'll move on. Now, he's got some torps down already, and that's a good play there. He's just kind of zone torping into the cap, unless he's trying to hit the cruiser behind me, but I doubt it. I think he was just sending them in my way. We both go ahead and slam on the smoke. That's to disengage. You know, it's fine. We don't have to kill him immediately here. If he gets away for a few seconds, that's fine. But we just wanted to make sure we weren't going to get wrecked by the battleship and the destroyer both shooting us at the same time. There, the battleship does go down. And now we're hoping to get this repair off because a lot of stuff's damaged. But throw some torps out there, see if we can get them. And then we're immediately going to try and re-engage him, spot him. Hopefully our team can shoot at him as well. But we're going to definitely take a shot if possible. Fortunately, we missed that particular salvo. And then now that the engine's back and up and running, we're just going to go right back into the player here. Now, at this point, it doesn't really matter if we live or die, obviously, but we're trying to get the crack in here. We want to shoot, disable the guy's engines and hit him with the torp, but unfortunately, he actually did some defensive torps our way and got us there before we could get him. Now, our team's going to go chase him off into the edge of the map, and eventually, I think he might get away. I can't remember, but back to what we were talking about earlier. How do we get the Kamakaze Firepower Deluxe Edition? Now, it's called the physical copy of the game, but basically what you will do, and I'll have links to both the Xbox and the PlayStation version of this game in the comments. So we'll pin it down there, and then it's an Amazon affiliate link. I would get a small commission. I mean, it's kind of trivial in terms of what I actually make, but we would, full disclosure, I will make like a couple pennies at least if you use those links. But those will take you to where you want to get them. But basically what you're doing is you're buying a code. Okay, so they'll ship you a box that comes with a game box. Like if you bought any game from the store, it'll come in that box. But then you open it up and you're like, where's the disc? Well, there's no disc. It's just going to be a code. You go onto the website, plug it in, and then the Wargaming will credit your account. And you're going to get 4 ships and a bunch of other stuff. Doubloons, credits, all that jazz. But the ships, Kamakaze, Tier 4 Japanese cruiser we just watched there, Tier 4 American battleship Texas, Tier 3 Japanese cruiser Iwaki, and Tier 5 American battleship Arizona. Now these are all pretty good ships. So, and you know, in terms of spending the money on this game, this is by far the best deal you're ever going to encounter. Okay, I would always rank this the best deal, and then the campaigns, and then it's a pretty steep drop off after that, and it just depends on how much you want to support the game after that. But going for value plays here. If you're going to just spend some money on World of Warships Legends, everybody who knows will recommend the Deluxe Firepower Edition. So again, if you want to go on Amazon, use those links. You just have to remember 2 things. Number 1, do not buy a used copy. Do not buy a used copy, okay? Because once again, you're buying the code. Whoever bought the game initially plugged in the code into their account. Then they're like, I'm going to sell this on Amazon. Some sucker will buy it. Don't be that sucker, okay? Because you'll get the code. It won't work in the Wargaming. You'll contact them. They'll say, I'm sorry, shrugging my shoulders here. We can't help you. You bought a used copy. You bought a used code. Number 2, make sure that whatever region of the world you're in, you're buying that version of the game, okay? Because there's different regions with some of these video games, and I think that's the case here, where sometimes people will tell me they get the wrong region and it doesn't work. So just double check. You're getting the new copy, you're getting the correct region of the game, and then you're good to go, and you'll be getting the best value in the game. So that'll do it for that one, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. Hey, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. We got lots of World of Warships, and it's coming all the time. Questions, comments, leave below. Love to hear from you guys, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.